back, episode 7, Talking Sports with the Know-It-Alls. We got an interesting show this week. We got a lot of topics that done came up in the past couple days. I guess the Bears got them a miracle. They got them a general manager. And I guess they went to, if you can't beat them, join them. They went and stole a couple assistant from the Packers. So today we're gonna talk about a few things, but the first thing we're gonna talk about what you think the Bears need to do on offense and defense to at least be respectable next year. I ain't gonna say they're gonna go from worst to first. I can't see that, but they weren't even worse. Detroit was. But what you need to do to be respectable. So we're gonna start with the Bear fan. COVID must be getting it. So we're going to start with Ant. Ant, what you think the Bears need to do?
What with Green Bay colors on, though?
I would suggest they need to run the ball. I don't see the new GM and the new staff coming in and changing like the roster, a complete turnover, but I would say they need to run the ball. I would say they probably need to just go ahead and get some linemen in off-season draft, turn around and hand off the ball because we got a third-year, second-year wideout, Darnell Mooney. I don't see Mooney as a number one receiver, at least not right now. Drop the ball too much. I don't see them paying Allen Robinson. I would say they just need to just turn around and hand the ball off. And so the Justin Fields could really figure it out. On defense, I would say I heard some rumors of changing it from a 3-4 to a 4-3. I mean, the personnel that they got in the defensive line of pass rushers, it don't matter if they run a 3-4 or a 4-3. I still think they'll be successful. Lil Mack got the most sacks running 4-3, so I would say they could leave a 3-4 or 4-3. It really doesn't matter. It's the offense that's the key. They gotta score. So I would say turn around, hand off the ball. And he a defensive coach anyway, so that's probably what he's gonna end up leaning towards more too. So that's what I would say.
Okay, I'll let you have you're a Bear fan, so I'll let you have that. Big Ralph, what you think, man?
I think I like the moves that they made offensively and their coach, both coaches, and their GM. What I think they do need to do offensively, I think, to be honest with you, re-sign Allen Robinson if you can convince him to stay. But he's not going to get the money that he wants, not from them. That's what because they pretty much just screwed him all this year. They wasn't throwing the ball. Plus, he was hurt. Nagy wasn't really messing with him like that. So I think basically what they should do is in-house. You know, you need a big play receiver. You need a big receiver. Mooney's small. And all he's fast, but he's small.
Yeah.
And all that. So, you know, get you I would try to keep Allen Robinson. I know their GM made a comment like they want to get faster at tight end. So Cole Kmet might not be it and all that unless he becomes a little bit faster because they want to. He comes from that Kansas City style just like Nagy did. So they looking at Travis Kelce type tight end. So I think they get a little bit faster with him, maybe if you can, whatever. I'll definitely got to get the offensive line. We all know that. The offensive line has been a problem for 40 years with them. So definitely run the ball a little bit more as well. See what Justin Fields can do. Also, defensively, 4-3-3-4 don't matter. It really don't matter with them. Their biggest hole to me has always been their secondary. You need to get you a good top-tier corner from somebody to help with the rest of your secondary. And I think, to be honest with you, a lot of people like Jackson. I don't like him. Get rid of him now. He don't tackle and all. Then I think they need to bring Charles Tillman in and bring him in to actually teach people how to, okay, if you're not going to tackle, punch the ball out. Because that's what he did for his career. He made a living off of it. So I think that's the only things they really need to do. And like I said, getting Green Bay's quarterback coach to become your OC, that was bright. I mean, you can't beat them, still ain't coaches and players. So I like that. But other than that, I ain't impressed at the moment yet. I mean, we'll see.
All right. I'm not a Bear fan at all, but
tell about that.
I'm going to give just a sports analogy, what I think they should do. On offense, I wouldn't re-sign Allen Robinson. I think you wasted him. Let him go. I think you need to decide which side of the ball you're going to focus on this offseason. So with Justin Fields, I will focus strictly on offense. The line, I think they They got 2 good running backs. You ride that, but I think they need to draft receivers, offensive linemen. I would spend all my draft capital on receivers, offensive linemen. Anything to help Fields. Mooney, I'm not impressed with Mooney. I think he gonna have some Juju Smith in him. And when I say Juju, and Juju wanted to be the man with Antonio there,
but really not the
but
man.
once Antonio left, he couldn't handle being the number one. I think Mooney gonna be the same way. Go get you some receivers. Go to some black colleges. Go find you some boys 6'4", 6'3", that could jump, that could run. Spend a 5th round, 6th round pick on that. Work on that. But I think they need to just focus their whole draft on receivers and linemen and let them grow through that. On defense, I think they defense can stay what they learned this year, that they can play without Khalil Mack. So me personally, they should have did it a year ago. I would trade Khalil Mack because they need draft capital. They don't have no draft capital because they traded it to get Khalil Mack, to get Justin Fields. And like I say, they still held the fort down decent with Mac out there. Even though when he plays, he make a difference. But you're not going nowhere yet. You rebuilding. You got you a couple young Thundercats. Build around them. Get you a couple draft picks for Khalil Mack. I'm like, Ralph, let Eddie Jackson go, man. You know what I'm saying?
ASAP.
Find you. One thing the Bears do, they draft good in the later rounds.
Yeah, they got history of that.
You can find you a couple late round steals. Get you some corners, some safeties. But like I say, I would do that with free agency. I would focus on plugging in the defense here and now. But my draft would strictly be on offense for Justin Fields, because you would want them to grow together, like something like the Cowboys did with their line, and letting them grow. So, and for a culture change, something like Ralph said, I would try to go get former players to help out. I would go try to find a Lance Briggs to help with the linebacker. They did Olin Cruz wrong because he been giving them insight on how to revamp their O-line, change a player here, change a player there. I would bring an Olin Cruz in. I'll go call me a Mike Brown and have talk to the secondary. They need a culture change. Offensive wise, they need to move to the new millennium. Even you said it, run the ball, run the ball. That ain't how the NFL is now.
Yeah,
the RPO, you gotta use. I will use some of what
you got a good back though.
Seattle did.
Too.
What Seattle did.
Yeah, with Herbert too.
What Seattle did with Russell Wilson. I would use the running game, but I wouldn't like just be so heavy on it.
But see, that's the problem. Russell Wilson was on point, so you can kind of throw the other receivers open, and they had that defense.
No, but what I'm saying is, I think just even though he come from the school I hate most on earth, the sucker eyes. But like I say, get a couple receivers so they can grow with them. As soon as you draft them, I gotta use it. Do like my boy Peyton used to do. As soon as they draft a receiver, he meeting up with them, and they working out together to try to get acquainted with each other. So they need to do that. I like the hire. I like the GM hire. It's a smart move, even though they went with a defensive coordinator. I think when they talked to him, they probably asked him, what's your idea for what? And so they know they got a good thing on defense, that they could keep it steady. And so he had a good deal with the coach.
They not sure if they're going to bring our defensive coordinator back.
I hope they do. That's terrible.
That's what I was just finna
say. They might keep the young, but if they let him go.
But the thing too, they had I'm glad they let the GM pick who he wanted. Time to him, because they had like a panel they were saying where, McCaskey's wanted this person, the other half wanted this person. Half of them wanted Caldwell, and the other one wanted Flores. The GM was like, no, I want the defensive coordinator from the coach.
And let everybody and that's one of the Bears' old problem. The Bears will hire somebody but wouldn't let him do his job.
Yeah.
If you hire him, step back, let him do his job.
Mm-hmm.
Everything go wrong, he get all the blame for it. But if you stepping in, you can't step in, then it go wrong. Then you won't be like, well, man, that didn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let the brother. I feel a certain way.
That's why I feel like Ryan Pace, a lot of that they try to blame, but I think it was probably organizational. I think some of those decisions he made was probably from up top.
Nah, I believe they gave Pace more leeway than they gave a lot of people.
Well, I just said they let him chose the coach. I don't think a lot of Pace moves.
That's why they changed. That's why they changed their thing this year.
That's what I'm saying.
Because, like Jimmy said, let the GM do what he's gonna do. So if it fails, all the blame goes to him. Now we ain't going back and forth like, oh, it's the Bears ownership that did it. Like this, not they don't run it like Jerry Jones runs Cowboys, where I make all the decisions. I don't care who the coach is. Coach is just gonna coach. I'm gonna make all the transactions. I'm gonna do all this other. They was like, nah, we gonna do this because and they clearly put it out there in the newspaper. Like, okay, this is who we wanted. This is who our other half wanted. But the GM, he wanted this guy because nobody ever. When it came out that they was hiring a coach defensive coordinator, that came out of nowhere. Everybody's like, hold on, what? Yeah. What happened to Caldwell? What happened to Flores?
Quinn.
And Quinn, my fault. And they was talking about Quinn too. And they talking about Quinn too. So it's like
I would have liked Caldwell. Because I liked the work he did with the Colts. When he had Peyton. And I liked the work he did with Stafford. In Detroit. That was the last time he went to the playoffs. But the Bears are one of those organizations where they think they smarter than everybody.
Yeah, they're not.
You can look at the picks over the years, like we gonna pick him, the unknown, because we gonna be smart. The K. McNow's, the Curtis Enuses.
But that's when they get them over. Yeah. That's when they been doing that. They look at you draft Urlacher. Pretty much unknown in college.
They lucked up. Urlacher.
He was a safety in New Mexico.
Yeah, Urlacher. They lucked up with Urlacher. Then you had somebody like a Tommy Harris fall to him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Bears are a team that does better. They terrible with first round picks. Second, third, fourth round picks.
They always find.
They'll find all pros.
Mike Brown,
Lance Briggs, Tillman, Cruz. You know what I'm saying?
Be honest, if y'all want to make an argument, Urlacher is probably the only first round pick they've hit on outside of whom that we could think of in recent memory. We going back to the late 90s till now.
Recent memory?
I'm a Bears fan. I know the first picks. You got outside of Tommy Harris and Urlacher, they got. Remember they drafted Mark Colombo. That was terrible. Kevin White never saw the field.
Oh, what about Cal Long? Was he drafted in the first round?
No.
Bottom of the first round.
Kind of like the second round.
They messed Cal Long.
And Cal Long was their best offensive lineman for years.
The Bears messed up his career trying to make him into a position on the offensive line that he wasn't.
He was playing hurt and they was trash for so long, and then he just couldn't get back over the hump. I mean, injuries take a toll on your mental state.
But they was trash.
As they was garbage.
So he was like, why am I going to go through this?
And the Bears do real bad with drafting, like, quarterbacks. Sometimes they get lucky with wide receiver, but their quarterback drafting, besides Fields, at the moment, horrible. Look, Grossman was okay.
Yeah.
Cal Orton was okay.
I liked Rex.
But I liked Rex when he came out of Florida too. I was a big fan of Rex Grossman.
Rex,
because I knew Rex could get it done.
He took too many risks.
But see, Cutler, it's crazy because I hated Cutler when he played in Denver. I didn't like him when he played here either because I didn't like his attitude. I didn't like how you coming at your offensive lineman. These dudes who got to protect you on Sunday.
I liked
but I liked his ferocity and all. I like that though.
I like
his
the physical abilities of Jay Cutler, but the attitude is not a quarterback.
I believe Jay had the attitude because if you trade for a quarterback like him, other than Brandon Marshall, you're supposed to give him what he needs to succeed. He liked playing with tall receivers.
Yeah.
At the time, Bears had all midgets.
Yeah. But he asked for
Did y'all hear that Devin Hester? Did y'all hear that Devin Hester story? Where they threw the ball to Brandon Marshall in practice like 40 straight times.
Yeah, because he got
made a bet with
Devin was trash.
Yeah, but Devin, look, he was okay.
No.
He just hold on.
No,
He
no,
flipped from DB to receiver in the NFL.
Bro.
That's why DBs are DBs.
I know.
They can't catch.
I'm giving it
Only
to
one
y'all.
that was good
The
at
Bears
catching was
flipped
Sherman.
him. I mean,
Look here. This is the thing with Devin.
Devin had 1,000 yards.
This is the thing
Damn,
with
man.
Devin.
Look it up.
Devin wasn't
He was-
good. Devin wasn't
pro,
good.
he was
The
okay.
only position he was good at was a returner.
I know.
When he was at Miami, they put him at running back, DB.
He was
receiver.
All-American defensive back, so he wasn't trash.
He was All-American as a kick return, though.
He was
He was
good.
All-American as a defensive
He
back.
was
They
great.
took him off defense.
When he got in the league, he was great. I mean, you hear all the stories about Devin Hester, and everybody talk about Devin Hester all the time when he's in college because he's a freak of nature. I mean, the dude's fast and all that. He was best at punt returning and kick returns and all that.
I
Once
know.
he got to leave, I mean, because there's a lot of people that was great in college at this, but they got to leave. They wasn't great at that no more.
I mean,
so he couldn't adapt to the NFL type speed, the NFL tenacity. He couldn't just.
But
he couldn't do
just
it.
hear me out. To go from a corner in the NFL to flip to the other side of the ball and you damn near give me 1,000 yards receiving, that's decent. I'm not saying he was some
Bears
all-pro
shoulda
receiver.
signed-
I'm not saying that.
The Bears should.
That's pretty good.
Should have
I
stopped
mean,
being cheap.
there's nobody. I give him his credit for that.
They
That's
shoulda
like
stopped
Diggs
being
from the
cheap and
Cowboys.
got
He went
another
from a receiver to Alabama to a defensive back. I'm saying,
That's Sherman. Richard Sherman the same way.
no, but Hester did it in the league.
I mean, it's still tough to do that.
I ain't saying, I know he gonna get in there with the kick return, but I'm saying just to be able to do that at receiver, that was still
And plus, they
decent.
had nobody to throw to.
yeah.
That's what it was.
He got a
They
4.2,
had no
4.3
backups.
speed. Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah,
he was
those-
Tariq Hill in terms of speed,
Who,
but he can't catch like
yeah,
Tariq
yeah,
Who
Hill.
else they had? Johnny Knox.
Yeah, and he got that neck
They-
injury. He
yeah,
got
he-
hit,
they-
man.
they-
He was done.
He was trash,
Johnny
too.
Knox,
Bernard Berrien,
Trash.
Aroma Shadu. They had Earl Bennett that went to Vanderbilt with Jay Cutler. He was there for a while. Like they had no other
They
choice.
supposed to get taller receivers, just like Brandon.
He may have
What
Brandon
they need
Marshall.
to
be honest
start,
with
what they
y'all,
need to
maybe.
start doing like they used to do.
Brandon
like-
put up numbers everywhere.
Yes, he did. They need, except for New York for the Jets. He was okay there, but
He put up numbers everywhere.
Drinking the juice.
But what they need to start doing, especially what the Bears should probably look at too, look at how these teams drafted tight ends that were basketball players.
Yeah.
Like Antonio Gates. Go get you a basketball player who might not make it to the NBA, but 6'4", 6'5", got
If you
a
don't,
big
have the,
stocky
if you don't
build.
have the coach to work with him,
Yeah, but I mean,
makes no sense to do
but
it.
you ain't got to go draft them. You can like, hey, you know what? You
But
might not
if
make
you
the
don't-
NBA,
but if you don't
I don't
have
think
to
the Bears draft offensive talent well. I mean, the scouting department, they never really hit on it.
Yeah,
Any
but
other guy
I
they
mean,
get, they gotta go trade for
You
him.
look at any great tight end now, Travis Kelce and all them. At some point in time, these dudes played basketball and they was good basketball players, and they just played
Antonio
college
Gates.
ball and they turned out to be pretty good
Yeah.
as football players. Because they even look at like Gonzalez. I mean, a lot of them was originally basketball players, so they know how to go up and get the ball at its highest point.
So-
and
so-
all that.
so,
that's
okay,
what you type
so
of need, especially with a Justin Fields who throws the ball pretty high.
If they
too.
don't think Cole Kmet is the answer, which I don't think he's
I don't think they should
trashy
have drafted him in the
tight
first
end,
place. Should have drafted Claypool.
Do you instantly release him, or do you bring somebody in
No,
to
you
compete
don't
with him?
release him.
You bring somebody in to compete
They're
with him.
not
Yeah.
going to release him because, first off,
He's
the
serviceable.
new coaching
No,
staff.
that's what I was. That's what I
the
was
new
saying.
coaching staff from Green Bay. Come on, they took Robert Tonyan and made him a Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
Definitely
man,
did.
I was just
So-
they had them in
Definitely did.
tight end
So-
touchdowns last year.
So they work with tight ends, so they might be able to find a scheme for
And they gonna run the ball more because too they run the ball. They got Green Bay got two dynamic running backs
Yeah.
and all this with Jones and the other boys. So
I think the
Dylan.
Bears.
With
I think the
Dylan,
Bears
so-
running backs are
they're good.
serviceable.
Well,
So I got a question I ask
I
y'all.
like Herbert.
So what do you
Herbert
do with
real
Tariq
good.
Cohen when you got a $40 million contract on the books? I'm asking y'all.
I
Did
think
you just
Tariq
let him
Cohen
go?
ain't nothing but a punt return.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Returner.
I'll make him as my punt returner, and then here and there I'll get a little play for him where I might need you to outrun, like give him a
Who in
screen
Hollis
type
Hall
play.
paid him?
His play.
Who would you give a kick return
but
of $40 million?
His play
You
ain't
paid him.
His play ain't nothing but a reverse, a gadget play.
Yeah.
And when he come in the game, you gonna automatically call for it
'Cause you
he
know-
comes-
You know what
Yeah,
he's coming
you
in
know
for,
what he coming in for.
unless he's already been in the game and he's been in situations. But eventually, after I say about like week 5, week 6, people are like, oh, Anytime he come in the game, they either gonna run a screen, they gonna run some type of
Reverse.
misdirection and all that, or he's just gonna run down the field and see if he got run everybody.
Y'all laughing at me. I think Nagy told them people to pay Tariq Cohen because he thought he could be some type of Tyreek Hill type.
No,
of
he's
Nagy
good.
offense.
He's good if
He
you
tried
run
to
zero
make the-
coverage.
He tried to make the Bears.
$40 million though.
He tried to make the Bears Kansas
That's
City.
crazy.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Yeah, he tried it.
You know, but that's. I mean,
But that's what their GM's gonna do. He comes from that same. thing.
That's the problem.
He drafted
That's
Mahomes
the
and all
problem
that.
I was
But-
saying.
So, but
Like,
that, I mean, the NFL or any league is
Copycat league.
is a copycat league. So you
It's
see
a
one team
copycat
has
league.
success, and you're gonna try to do the same.
we just tried this with Kansas City. That's why I was just so surprised that
Nagy
they
wasn't-
still trying to.
But see, Nagy wasn't the right coach for it. And then there was a lot of things. He wanted certain players. He didn't want this quarterback. He didn't want this one. He was like, they didn't really give him a chance to get the players that he wanted. Too. Now, if you got a coach and you can have, if he can get who he wants, it
tell him-
helps.
You
so
just
then when
doing
it
this.
fails, there you go.
You draft a player, then say go work with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go work with him.
Yeah, it don't make no sense. You're not. It's
Cook
like
the food, but you can't shop for the groceries.
exactly.
basically.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're a coach and you can't get a player that you want, and all that, you're like, oh, this ain't the dude I want. Now, if he become a star, cool. But if he not, you're like, that's not what I want. You know what I'm saying?
Because for the
Like,
life of me, I don't understand. I wish I could ask Matt Nagy, why would you, the Bears go to the playoffs, you lose against the Eagles, Trubisky makes the Pro Bowl.
Best game ever.
By default,
Best game ever.
this guy. But the way they was calling the plays, then you go to the next year, you don't call none of the plays you was calling the previous season, and then you fire the offensive coordinator from the season. He made it was just like, damn, like, what was I missing?
He thought he was smarter than
yeah,
what
and
he was.
Nagy didn't want to he wanted to control everything. You got an offensive coordinator, let him do his job.
Yeah.
You're the coach, oversee everything. Take the Bill Belichick away, oversee it. But if I feel like I need to help you, or we're in situational football at this point in time, okay, look, we should probably do this. I saw this. I saw the linebacker do this. I saw somebody do this. You know what I'm saying? We should probably do that. He wasn't doing that. He was like, oh, nah, and I don't want you to be an offensive coordinator. I'm going to be offensive coordinator. And we all saw when Nagy missed for COVID, what happened? They was moving the ball like it was nothing.
And I just was like, I just didn't understand. And I was like, yeah, I get Trubisky. Okay, I'm happy we got Justin Fields, but I'm not going to say that they couldn't have did something with Mitch. I mean, I don't think Mitch Trubisky could read a defense, but the play calling just changed after they made the playoffs. It was just completely different.
Trubisky was doomed because he was not Nagy's guy.
Yeah.
That
John Fox guy. They drafted him for John Fox offense. People don't know
I
that.
loved Mitch. Mitch was the greatest pick they ever made in
God.
franchise history.
Denver's
I
greatest pick.
wish they could have kept Fox. I love.
They brought Fox in for professionalism and Hallis Hall. That's what people don't know. The Bears lacked that over the
Fox
last 10
is
years
trash.
after Lovie Smith to bring the facility back to respectability. So
Fox is alright in my book.
It still ain't respectability. 'Cause they're
Sure, man.
still losing. It's sad that the Bears are a staple in the Midwest for football and do not win nothing year in and year out.
y'all
But
hurt
you
my
know,
feelings now.
we gonna get off that. We've been on that too long, so we're gonna go from losers. I hate those.
Yeah,
To
go ahead.
We're gonna go from
winners.
losers
To the GOAT.
to cheaters.
Go.
Oh, here we go with the Chiefs.
So
Greatest ever.
yesterday we got news
The greatest
that
ever.
the greatest cheater
Oh my God.
is retiring.
Let's speak the facts.
So,
cheater, man.
I'm gonna get you guys' take on Brady and get your feeling on Tom Brady. We know Nick love Brady, but hey, she's a cheater too. All cheaters like each other.
It's getting hot. It's getting spicy.
And we gonna, Nikki, you gonna come in and join the show? I
I'll come in.
Look.
don't know. You look like you just left the construction site.
Right.
Wait, please. What? You just
Come on
mad.
in.
So
So Tom Brady fan.
Thank you.
we
thank you,
gonna
thank you.
we gonna give it up to the Tom Brady fans. So Ed is the only Bell fan, Tom Brady fan, Tampa Bay fan that I know.
Oh my
So
Just say Tom Brady in the bed.
what's your take on Brady, man? Give your take on Brady.
I would think it's time to retire. And if people pay attention, I mentioned that without Antonio Brown, they wasn't going to win. I don't care what y'all say. Without Antonio Brown,
Cheater!
I knew they wasn't going to win.
Hater.
But Tom is the greatest quarterback to ever put the cleats on. Period. He better than Peyton.
He better than Joe Montana. Tom is the greatest to ever put the cleats on. The greatest. Number 12. I've been watching Tom make throws since Michigan. We had to come in for Drew Henson to clean up his bullshit. Tom is the best to ever do it. And ain't nothing else to say. It's period. Everything else. Tom.
What they say?
Terrific Tom.
Best
Thomas
friend.
Edward Brady. Is that his full name? Thomas Edward Brady. That's all you need to say. That's all I got.
What they say? Best friends.
Ralph, what you got, man?
I'm sad to see him go, man. I think, even though still mixed reports out there whether he retiring or not, I just hope he come out and say something more than what he supposedly texted the GM of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But if it is over with, 22 years of playing, 7 Super Bowl rings.
Tell him, Ralph. Come
He
on,
got
tell
a
him.
bunch of he got a bunch of records and all. He did more with less. That's the whole thing.
Less.
But at the same time, TB12. Now, do I think they would have lost if Chris Godwin wasn't gone? I think they would have been fine. But they lost Godwin. You ain't had nobody else to throw the ball to but Evans and Gronk. You lost Antonio Brown, cool.
If
he
AB
helps,
play, they beat the Rams.
but he helps. But you still was out him and Godwin, and you missing 1,000 people on defense. And even though their defense is atrocious anyway, but you got best quarterback ever in my opinion. I've been a Tom Brady fan since Michigan as well. So I don't have really much more to say, but TB12, and thankfully he beat Peyton Manning a whole lot.
Thomas Edward Brady.
I'm thankful that he beat Brady. That he beat Manning a lot.
Go ahead.
Only Manning that's superior to Brady is Eli.
The little
it.
brother.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Nikki.
Go ahead, Nick.
Go ahead.
I haven't been a fan since Michigan, but I was a fan when he came off the bench when Drew Bledsoe got hurt or whatever. And I think the fantastic game that brought my attention is when he came in and they won the playoff game in the blizzard in Oakland.
The Tuck Rule.
Against Oakland, yeah.
I was like, against Oakland. That, to me, made me a fan of his, and I've been watching him ever since.
His own teammate hit him.
Right. I used to watch it with my grandmother, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, to me personally, I've been watching Tom Brady for a long time. Anybody that's been friends with me past 10 more years, Jimmy, come on. You know, and got 10 plus in the game with me. Anybody that knows, I've been a big
always
Tom
been there
Brady
making them throws.
friend. Period.
Always been there.
Man, and
TB12.
then let's be honest.
He had on Adidas, Nikes, Under Armours, and he still went out there.
Man,
It's not
but
just the
think about
shoes,
it.
Jimmy.
He's the only player that I've seen. We can say Aaron Rodgers, but 40 seconds or less, he can get you where he need to go. Think about it. They were down 20-something points last week, and they came back and lost by 3. That's incredible. That's incredible in anybody.
But did they win?
Ooh.
Can't win them all.
Right.
That's all that matters.
Hey,
but let's
one more than Peyton.
He was waiting all show to say that, man. He was waiting all show to say that.
He's only 7-3 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
7-3 in the Super Bowl.
This ain't no LeBron James
No,
over here
no.
in terms of going to the finals. Nah,
He's like
this dude
He's
wins.
the Michael
Tom
Jordan
ain't
of
good.
football with this. And let's be honest, no matter what, whoever he has always had no name receivers until he had Randy Moss. And anybody who touched the ball towards him, he made great. And I'm gonna be honest,
Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, Gronkowski made them. Gronk was still gonna be who he was, but
Aaron Hernandez.
helps when Brady's throwing you the
Let's talk
football.
about Aaron Hernandez. If Aaron Hernandez and Wes Welker wasn't dropping the balls in that second rematch against the Giants, I know, because how much money did I lose? A lot of damn money. They would have won that game because he got them down there in field goal range to make that play. Nobody can do that. Nobody can do that. Look at him.
Wake up.
Are you done? Are you done?
You don't.
You
Are you
sound
done?
like your neck is hurt like
Are you
Peyton.
done? Are you
Your
done?
neck hurt like Peyton.
You don't bet against Brady or Rodgers. And I even give Peyton Trash Manning his credit. You don't bet against him in the last minute either because they're gonna do what they do. That's gonna make a good quarterback.
What's Peyton's playoff record?
But at the end of the day, TB12 all day.
We're guaranteed.
I gave
TB
y'all.
says
I didn't say nothing. I let y'all get y'all shine.
There you go.
So I got to give my take. Y'all know I don't think he the greatest. It's always some controversy with his wins whether it's a ref. Last year against Green Bay, they let them play the whole game. Then at the end, they call them penalties. So his victories always have. You're a Brady fan, so y'all not gonna say he always have some type of. It's always some type of asterisk next to his wins. What, 3 of his Super Bowls was last second field goals?
We can
Football
take
is ultimate team sport.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. So, like his first 2 Super Bowls, I mean, he had a better team. He had a great team. He had a great coach.
Yeah.
But y'all can say what y'all want. Don't act like these. Y'all lucky my father watched this. Y'all act like they ain't been cheating. If you still in other teams' playbooks and you know they plays, they straight cheaters.
So that got something to do with quarterback?
Cheaters. If I know all your plays and we playing and I'm the quarterback, I know as soon as I see you in the play, I'm studying the film, but y'all ain't gonna see it because y'all Brady fans, and you know we difference in opinion. The only thing I give y'all credit on, he didn't have great receivers.
Never.
And he did, he did his thing. But like I said, if you're cheating, you can do that. But
Oh my God.
he made other people better. He made the Wes Walkers, Deion Branches, stuff like that. So I give him that, the Edelmans, the PED Edelman. I think he retiring because I think whatever steroids he used, he about to get caught. So he leaving.
Oh my God.
And then the wife on him, like, you better get to the crib. I'm tired of watching these kids. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna knock him. He had a good career. He broke all the records. He played 22 years. A good career. He broke all the records. He still ain't my man because it took him extra years to break my man records. And like y'all talking, my man had a broke neck.
Oh my God!
And Brady had less talent. Your
less talent.
Two Hall of Fame receivers. All them. Come on now.
Right.
Yeah, 2 great Hall of Fame receivers.
Wait. When Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne was drafted, nobody said they finna be Hall of Fame.
We don't care about that. What they actually did.
So
they Hall of Fame.
The same way, why y'all can't give my boy credit that he made them better?
I give Peyton Manning his credit. I give him his credit.
You wanna know why I can't? Wow. I was watching this last night. They when he went to Denver, he had Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, and they had Wes Welker. There's not been a time Peyton Manning didn't have.
What they do when he left? Why he
gone?
But when they left,
he had a time he hasn't thrown to
he's steady.
When has he had a time he hasn't thrown to a Pro Bowl or Hall of Fame receiver?
He made them. Just like he made Julius Thomas. Like he made Dwight Clark.
Brady got years where they wasn't Hall of Fame or Pro Bowl receivers, and they still won. I can't say that about Peyton. That's why I can't give it to him. What's his playoff record?
He lost.
And I don't want to hear that. Those coach teams, they 13-3, 12-4, so the playoff choke.
Well, let's be honest.
Blowouts. They not even close in the game. Look, I remember one year, they went to playoffs. This is 2 years out this rookie season. They go like 13-3, played the Jets, and got beat. The Jets was a wild card team and rolled them. Bro, he's always thrown to Pro Bowl or Hall of Fame receivers, period.
If he makes them that good, like I say, you acting like he had Megatron at the 3rd pick or something.
Marvin Harrison
was like the 17th, 18th pick.
Check your resume. What he actually did.
Because he had the quarterback to get him the ball.
You get Reggie Wayne. You get Reggie Wayne and Edgerrin James.
I give Peyton Manning his credit. I had to watch him a lot because my daddy was a fan of him.
Edge played with the Colts probably 4 years. 5 years.
At the end of the time, we all know Tom. Joseph had way less talent.
2,000-yard season till he was done. Where's Brady's 1,000-yard back? Where's Brady's 1,000-yard back? He ain't got the many as Peyton.
Peyton ain't got the.
But New England's always been running back by committee.
No. You had what's his name? You had Blunt.
Dylan.
Thank you for the
years. The year Dylan was there, I think Dylan might have had a year maybe or so of 1,000.
Better than Tom.
Well,
and Peyton had an offensive line. That was the best in the league.
His offensive line wasn't the best.
He wasn't getting touched, Jimmy. He a pocket passer. I want to see Peyton getting hit like that over the course of his time.
He
with
wasn't
the
getting hit because he was throwing quick slants. What you do on blitzes?
He's doing a quick slants all the time to other receivers. I'm not giving it to
Check
him.
your resume.
I
Check
just
your
gave you the
resume.
resume. A losing playoff record. They every year they was going, they get blown out.
He kills me because he go numbers. He only go numbers on
got
certain
drafted
players.
in the late 90s, right?
Hey,
It took him almost 10 years to get, man. Look.
my favorite memory of Peyton Manning is when Seattle stomped them. What was it, 51-3, Jimmy? 41-3?
You gonna have a mohawk next haircut you get.
I'm just saying, that was my favorite memory of them when they got absolutely demolished.
That wasn't my boy fault. That was the team. Well, Wes Walker.
The worst
was
thing-
scared.
That was what they second time going back to the.
No, that
No, that was
the
their
first
first one because they won the next day. They went back the following year and won.
That was
Right,
his second year with Seattle. Denver. Because the first year was when Baltimore hit the Hail Mary in the playoffs.
Yeah.
When Baltimore hit the Hail Mary on.
Oh yeah.
He talking about that throw down the sideline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that.
Denver
But
safety
you know,
do that shit.
everybody
Remember that.
gone. I mean, y'all like Brady. I give y'all that. It's our personal preference.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put 3 or 4 quarterbacks before Brady, but that's just my personal preference.
Right, you putting who you putting before Brady? Because I know you're gonna say Joe Montana.
Damn right.
And you gonna say Peyton Manning.
Damn right.
Who else you gonna say?
Probably Dan Marino.
No, Dan Marino.
I got a question.
Marino still, hey.
Right,
Hey,
he's
Dan Marino.
Dan Marino was one
Only
of my
reason Dan
all-time
Marino
favorite quarterbacks
doesn't
before
get-
Brady came around.
Only reason
He had
Dan Marino
nobody.
Exactly.
he didn't
Super
win
Bowl.
a ring. That's the only reason people don't
But he
talk
ain't had
about.
I got a
for so
question.
long.
I got a
But I'm
question.
just
though.
saying that's why people don't talk about Marino.
So
He hate him. I'm rocking with John Elway, and it ain't even no Denver thing. John Elway was a monster.
I was okay. Well, I wasn't a fan
Look,
of
look,
that. He was
look.
good, but I wasn't a fan
I
of
would
it.
have put Steve Young over.
No,
So-
no,
so wait,
never.
I would have.
Never.
I like
Look,
look, look.
Never.
we know
But-
Peyton is better than Eli Manning. So if you had to win one game, who would you take?
You know I'm taking Peyton.
Still taking Peyton.
Come
Right,
on now.
Eli is terrible.
You're not. Come on now.
And
All right,
you
come
know
on now.
Anthony. You know,
Oh, you're not
you
gonna
know
take
he
Eli.
right.
You gonna take
That
Eli
first-
over Peyton to win a game?
Man, you know
Only
what?
reason Anthony gonna do it, 'cause this what Anthony gonna
This my
say.
spicy take. Just because he got this little silly ass Denver hat on to win one game, I'll take his little brother over him. That's how much
you
I
serious?
don't like the player.
You don't like.
He ain't all that.
He
All the
Yes.
tight ends running back.
are
And I got an
different.
argument. Eli not even have all that talent around him and still won the Super Bowls. He's not Peyton. I'm not saying that. But if I have to win one game, I'll take his little brother
Bro,
over
let's
him.
be honest.
And you'll
I'll
get fired.
take his
All
little
right,
brother over him.
Go.
Nah, that's my
And
spicy
you tripping.
take. I would take Eli over Peyton. I just said
It's
to
a
win
Tennessee
one,
in that rip.
to win one game.
On that
To
note,
win one game. Just one. Just one game. I'll take Eli. I'll take Eli.
on
in
that
one
note,
game.
thanks
You
everybody
been-
for
One
coming
game,
on
man. I don't care.
this week episode of
One
Talking
game.
Sports with the Know-It-Alls.
Put the liquor up.
You know, check us out on YouTube.
Just give me that crowd,
Know-It-All
man.
Sports. Check us out on Facebook.
Hey, man.
Once again,
Man,
give us comments. Give us comments on what you
God
think about
damn.
Anthony's take.
Eli
Classic.
will win one game, just one.
Next show.
Taking him over the
Next
Remember,
show.
he has on Green Bay colors with
What?
a Bears hat.
Next show, we will have a sign for the trash bag section because he is definitely
He
representing.
can win one game. One game,
So
I'll take his
saying
little
that-
brother over him.
On behalf of Ralph, my girl Nikki Nick, the crew, Tim and the crew, and the trash man, Anthony. Talking Sports with the Know-It-All. We signing off. Later.
Yeah. I was drinking that shit yesterday too. They put me on, and I can't be mad at it.
Man.
Yeah, that's my go-to now.
Yeah, that's that shit now. Boy, hey, that I still drink my Mo 1738, but that proper 12.
Smooth.
Yeah, smooth than a motherfucker.
That's
It's just like drinking Jameson, but it's just it got a little bit more of a kick.
Purdue
to
won
it.
at the buzzer, man.
Purdue
Yeah.
is ass. And Ohio State's ass too.